I had an interesting moment the other day because I got into that car accident. I have been going to see the chiropractor, which has helped a lot. I've had a lot of back issues, and a part of going to the chiropractor is you get a massage appointment like every 6 weeks or so. And I even asked my mom, I was like, is this like, will my insurance cover this, or is this like a luxury? And she's like, no, like they have to loosen up all the crap in your back. I'm like, cool.
You're like, done. Cool. Let go.
And I even had this thought as it was occurring, as this experience was happening to me. I was like, oh my God, this is an entire podcast episode. Because it was so uncomfortable, and I was like, I can't wait to tell Sarah about this.
Between body weight and massages, let's go.
Well, just like trying to like take care of yourself and like get to your healthiest.
I know. I need to go to the
version.
chiropractor. My hip's out.
Yeah, because I've never been to the chiropractor really before.
Where do you go?
I go to Utah Pain and Rehab.
Oh, okay.
It's across the street from Zupa's on 12th Street.
Okay, I go to Doxy, the red and yellow sign.
Well,
there's two like right next to them. But I like him. They're really cool, and he does. Because I went when I was pregnant with Caroline, because he did prenatal stuff.
Yeah.
So that was cool. So I went to him, but my hip is out. And I'm like, I need to go back.
Well, and that's like the only time I've ever been to a chiropractor is when I was pregnant, because I had such bad sciatic issues and whatnot.
It's nice if you are pregnant and you're looking to go to a chiropractor, I would do it. Because too, like, it helps loosen up, and he's also said that like
and if you're worried about like the actual manipulation where they crack you and stuff, they can just use like their
massage, like little
they have a
bumper.
massage
like you
gun,
can tell them like what you're comfortable with. Like it's not a big deal, but I liked it because he said it could also help with like labor.
Yeah,
kind of like soften you up. But anyways, go on with your massage. I want to hear about it.
We're gonna soften you up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I was nervous when I first started going in.
Ending?
The guy is kind of a quirky guy, so whatever.
Was he the chiropractor that was doing it, or was it just like a massage therapist?
No, this was a separate.
Okay.
I've never seen her before, so I've gone in like 5 or 6 times
before
this. Yeah, it was a girl.
Okay.
And I've had other massages at like Massage Envy or whatever,
like couples massages or whatever.
Yeah,
like going to Mexico.
Yeah. But like this is my first experience at a
chiropractor. I've never gone from a chiropractor, so
therapy
I don't know.
place. Yeah, so she's pretty. She's nice enough. She's young, and I have to bring Elliot, my 5-year-old, in to my appointments because I don't really have anyone to watch him, right? And usually he's really good. But also, when you've gotten massages done in the past, do you get completely nude, or do you keep your undies on and like your bra, or what do you do?
So I think in Mexico, I think I kept my underwear on, and then when I got my prenatal one when I was pregnant with Caroline, I kept my underwear on. I was like, what do I do? And she's like, whatever you feel comfortable with. So it's like basically whatever if you want to keep them on, you can. But I usually just take my bra off because I'm like, I want her to get in my back.
Yeah.
But with my prenatal one, I kept it covered, but she would like lift it up over my belly and massage. It was great. She massaged my belly. It was beautiful. I'm like, I'm loving this right now. Oh, so good. But and then in Mexico, I think I kept my underwear on. But it was weird because she's like, I'm like,
I don't understand you. I accidentally stole my aunt's massage in Mexico.
I remember you saying that. Yeah,
because we both went in at the same time, and you pick which one you'd like.
But you guys,
and
she wanted like the rough
the
one. You're like, it's a
tissue.
little
Yeah, and so that in Mexico was my only other experience of having like a deep
I've only
tissue
had
massage
2 in my life.
Versus like the really relaxing ones where they just rub you down and make you feel good.
That's what I had when I was pregnant.
And let me give you like a little pretext, right? So I have to kind of like go somewhere outside of my mind, because when I get my relaxing massages, like I can't help it. My mind wanders. I'm like, one of my love languages is absolutely touch. And so just like being touched and that sensation, it's just like
your giblets get going.
Like I am like that person who awkwardly moans and is like, that does right there.
Oh.
The first time the first adjustment that the chiropractor gave me, like I was in so much pain. And I was nervous about being popped, but when he like walked me through it and finally did it, like I'm sure I sounded so inappropriate to the other people in the other rooms because I was like, yes, oh my God, that's such relief.
Well, it really is. Like with Chase,
I've needed that for so long. And I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck
it
up.
does. It feels so good. Like his neck, he's like, I can move my neck. I'm like, isn't it just wonderful? Like what popping does.
Oh God.
Little crackle can do to you.
And this whole situation reminded me because I went out to dinner, me and Ellie did with my partner.
Your
and
SO.
We went to a Mexican restaurant, and I swear to God, this ties back in. He got a pasta dish from a Mexican restaurant, which is a red flag in its own right. I don't know why, but kind of. It was disgusting. Like it was like
She's fine.
It was like a really hot and spicy, like red pepper penne pasta or something. And it just tasted like spicy mush. Like it wasn't good.
Well, you're at a Mexican restaurant getting pasta.
Right. And so I asked him, I'm like, are you going to say anything to the waiter or are you just going to like eat it? And he's like, I'm just going to eat it.
Ew.
And I'm like, no. So in those instances, like I speak up for myself and I'm like, hey, like I ordered this, but it's just not quite whatever. In a massage setting, if it's too hard or it hurts,
I don't. I'm just like,
I'm like, I'm like, fuck.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was going to ask that.
I'm like, stop breathing. I'm like,
yeah. So that was this situation,
was horrible.
Right? It was horrible. And at first it was nice and relaxing, but she starts playing this music. And the first 30 seconds, my face is so buried into the massage table. Like, my nose feels like it's getting cold from, like, all the blood draining out of it, you know? But I don't say anything. I'm not going to be that person. And then the chorus kicks into this song, and she's playing, like, old Western music. Old Western music.
What the hell?
Usually you play like spa music. Yeah. Or if you're gonna like go mainstream, you're gonna play like Enya. Who can say
like
when you...
Again, spa music. Old Western like Willie Nelson.
Yeah, it was
playing the
like
banjo.
It was like the Virginia mountains. Like it was like this. It was like one hair away from fucking John Denver. Okay, and then like when the tension started to pick up, and she started to really like use her elbows and dig into my fucking back when I was holding my breath and like just like counting down the seconds. Like okay, she's gonna be done any second. Next pass. Just get there. The song comes on, and I've never heard the original. I didn't even know this was an original song. But you know that scene from Happy Gilmore when his girlfriend leaves him in the very beginning and he's on the PA and he's like, I want to touch you all over and over and again. That's an actual fucking song, and it has a Western twang to it. And that song came on when this woman was digging into my back. And I forgot to mention that when I get a massage, I go full nude. And so, like, I even hold up a blanket because Elliot's in the room with me.
He's like,
so he's got my phone. I have the blanket up. I strip down naked, get under the sheet, throw the blanket. And as this song's playing, like, I just feel my eyes shut open and I'm looking straight onto this ugly looking carpet. And I'm like, where am I in this timeline that had to make this happen? Like, why?
I just don't get like the Western music is what made it.
Oh God. And like I could have gotten past the Western music, but that song specifically, like I even when I got to the car had to sing the fucking chorus on repeat because I've heard this. Where have I heard it? Happy fucking Gilmore, bitch.
Oh,
and I'm like,
my God.
That was so uncomfortable, especially because it hurt so bad.
Oh yeah, I've gotten a sports massage. I'm like sore for 2 days after. She's like, "Is the pressure good?" I'm like, I literally stopped. I'm like, yeah.
Well, and it would be one thing if they asked you if the pressure was okay, but this girl didn't even ask me what the pressure was. And I'm thinking back in this moment to the dinner I had just nights before. But then again,
you're like not gonna say anything because usually when they come up and like, "How's your food?" You usually say, "Yeah." If it doesn't eat anything, they're like, "Oh, is it bad? You want me to get a new plate?" And you're like, "Sure."
But again, what's the difference if someone's like, "Is that pressure all right?" versus "How does your dinner taste?"
Because it's a waiter, and what if you say it's not very good? They're gonna take it back. And have you seen that video on Facebook where they're like, "Oh, they didn't like it," and so they're like getting like pube hairs, and they're like shaking his hair out, and they huck a loogie in it.
That movie is it's the fucking restaurant movie. It's what the fuck is it called?
Doesn't it have
old? It's great.
Ryan
it's a
Reynolds
classic.
in it?
Yes, it's a fucking classic.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I can't remember the name of it.
That's what I think about every time I send food back.
We're gonna be
so I just don't
blasted for that one because that's a classic fucking movie.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my god, Google it. Fucking look that up on your phone.
I don't have my phone.
Oh damn, that's a
the
good one.
Baby has a phone.
The baby has a phone.
Did she stop crying? Yeah. We just give her a minute.
Yeah.
She usually cries really hard for about literally 2 minutes and then she stops crying.
It's because the children know that we'll eventually come and get them. And I've had to like recently look at my parenting recently and be like, no, I'm going to be an asshole right now and be like, no.
I know Chase asked me because she likes to hold everything, right? Mm-hmm. I used to hold it. Like she has to, like, if you have an ice cream, she has to hold, like, you can't just give her a bite. Well, Chase was eating a drumstick. And she was like freaking out because she wanted
like a chicken drumstick?
No, like an ice cream drumstick. But the last time we let her hold it, Chase was like, let me get a bite. So he like grabbed her hand to take a bite out of it. Well, she got mad and threw it across the room. And Sam ate it. He's been eating a lot of shit lately, and I hope he doesn't die. That freaking kid ate a cookie. He ate the freaking chocolate drumstick. I'm like, all right.
He's living his best.
I mean, he's loving it. He's
geriatric
like this baby.
Fuck age like, that he
I try to get it from him, but he's just so freaking fast. I can't. So I'm like kicking him. I'm like, get out. But
for
it doesn't
a handicapped old dog, he's speedy when he needs
to. God, he really like food. He's just like on top of it, like nobody's been. I'm like, oh my God. So she was sitting there and she was screaming, her like red face, screaming because she wanted it. And Chase is like,
you shouldn't.
He's like, when do I give it to her? I'm like, when she doesn't cry. Like, that's why. I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, I don't know when to give it to her. I'm like, when she's not fucking crying. I don't know. I'm like, you're the parent. You decide.
Dude. I love how like society views like raising children as this like thing that you're just like
we're all
supposed to do. Like we're genetically made and predisposed to like have spawn, and that it should be an easy
like they don't
journey.
Come with a goddamn manual.
And all the manuals that have been written, like all those parenting help books, like I wish I could take them, combine them, compress them into a fucking massive brick and just huck them at the world, because it's like, fuck you. Like because even people who are close to me, like even dating someone who doesn't have kids, where when Elliot does have a tantrum, he's just like, well, you know, you just set him in a timeout and you walk away. I'm like, you're comedian.
Like, yeah, set him in a timer and
No, he's like, well, isn't it more beneficial to have a timeout out of sight? I'm like, no. The most beneficial thing that has worked for me at this chapter that Elliot's in, because he's in the copycat phase and everything is no, and everything is a 15-minute fucking negotiation. Go put your shoes in. But Mom, I could tell you why that I don't need shoes and why I do better without them. And I just can't find one. And I only have one matching sock. Well, fuck, go find one. Like, just do it. And then you get to the point of screaming. No, the only thing that works is if Elliot gets to the point of timeout, he has to sit in a chair in the middle of the room where he can't touch anything. Yeah. And I have to watch him. And he has a 5-minute timer because he's 5 years old. But if he goes out of timeout and starts acting up, time starts over. Or minutes added.
You can't freaking leave them in a corner, because if you leave them in a corner, it gets quiet, and then they'll be quiet and they'll touch everything, and then you're like, why is it? Because I was talking to my aunt about this today, because I had Caroline with me at the salon, and I was like, fuck, she's really quiet. I'm like, where the hell did she go? Well, she was in Molly's sparkles, right? Mm-hmm. They weren't open, thank God. But I was like, when you have a kid or a toddler, quiet, you do not want to hear quiet.
They could be like,
because like if you give them time out somewhere else,
murder.
Like upstairs or whatever, they're gonna be playing in their room. They're not gonna be doing
Or
timeout.
sticking a fucking fork into the light socket, or
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing until
wrapping
Caroline did
a
that.
fucking phone charger around their neck, or cutting
All
your
from
drapes
experience.
with the scissors that they found in the drawer, or Santa thought it'd be a good idea to bring Elliot a paint set, and he decided to paint my white cabinets blue
I mean,
with acrylic paint.
paint the bottom one's blue.
I was like, put myself in a coughing fit. He cleaned that kitchen for like 3 hours,
Hey.
and it was a fight. But I was like, absolutely not.
You just gotta do what works for your
To
kid.
other people, they're like, oh well, if you put them in a corner alone, then they hold themselves accountable. I'm like, bitch, they're 5 years old. No one's gonna hold them accountable unless I do. I gotta eyeball this mother. I gotta mean mug the fuck out of my 5-year-old for the next 5 to 35 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
And then only then, when he gets out and he's willing to actually say sorry and understand why he was there and possibly give me a hug after, that's when I'm like, okay, we took something away from this. Otherwise, the rest of the time is, I'm playing mom like a motherfucking violin. So, that being said, going back to this massage,
We're
because
killing it.
it got worse
Oh my god!
at the tail end of it, because I don't like talking to people when you're getting a massage. It makes me
I don't
uncomfortable.
feel like you should, I don't feel like you should, because it's a massage. You should be there to be quiet, hang out, possibly take a nap.
Yeah, it's not like you're in the salon staring awkwardly at your hairdresser through the mirror and you have to fill that void with silence. No, my eyes are closed.
You're literally face down.
Face down on a table. Please don't talk to me. It's almost as bad as going to the dentist when they have your
my God.
mouth cranked open.
I like
and they're
how
like,
they
how
ask
old's
you
your son?
They ask you a question and then go in your mouth and you're like,
What's new for the past? What's happened in the last 6 months?
I know my dentist is like, how's your mom? I'm like, good.
I just want to be like, get the fuck out of my mouth, Deborah, and quit asking me questions, because you obviously don't care about the answer, because you cannot possibly understand what I'm saying,
No.
period. But at the tail end of this, E's watching kids' YouTube on my phone on the bench. And she had a thick accent. I think she was Hispanic. But she's like, oh, what is he watching? And I'm
You're
like,
I don't know. I can't see
I can
it.
hopefully guess. I was like, he's watching kids' YouTube. And she's like, oh, my God. It's kind of scary that, kids watch YouTube these days. You never know what's going to come up. They just keep playing. I'm like, yeah, I totally took YouTube off my phone and the TVs because he'll log in and just, finds things that have scared him in the past. Like, and they seem
Salad fingers.
They seem innocent. Yeah, like kids or not. They're animated, but they're like
They're
doing
creepy
really
animation.
raunchy or nasty shit, or they're talking about stuff that they shouldn't,
Yeah.
or they're swearing. I'm like, this is obviously not for kids. Fucking nasty people in the world. And so next thing I know, like, this already painful deep tissue massage that I'm just
You're
trying
to breathe through the pain. And
grit
she's
my
like,
teeth through.
how's your son doing? You're like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
He's over there in the corner.
Yeah, next
Just leave me
time,
alone.
Michelle, I will not bring him, because I just want to avoid this incredibly awkward, like, trying to relate to me conversation.
Yeah.
It was just like horrible. And then she gets off on this entire tangent because there were like small breaks between the ends of each of my responses. I'm like, okay, now. Oh, I really hate when they bring up like cartoons from the past, and they really ruin it for us. Like, there's all that innuendo. Like, we didn't hear it as a child, but when I hear it as an adult, it just ruins it for me, and that's really not fair. And I'm almost at that point, like, wanting to lift my head up, and I'm like, can you play Touch Me All Over again? Because anything other than this would be great.
You're like, anything but you talking. Shh.
Yeah, and you guys all listening, you could relate. Like, when you're in pain or like when you're in an uncomfortable situation, sometimes you can't help but just kind of pop off. And that's already my general
You're already hot-headed as it
attitude
is.
already. So I'm just like, dear God.
So it doesn't
like,
help.
beam me up. Take me away from this situation. Like, I've had some awkward sexual incidences.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably the most uncomfortable, like, touching experience, physical experience I've ever had. And it had nothing to do with sex. It was, yeah. I almost want to ask next time I have to go in, which is this afternoon.
Oh, perfect.
If I could go see a different masseuse.
I mean, I don't see why not.
But then again, it brings me back to that dinner scenario.
Yeah.
Am I going to be that asshole and be like, she seems like a really nice gal, but
Be like, is there someone that's a little softer handed?
I just really didn't like the way she made me feel all dirty inside. Because for some reason that did. It just made me
What
feel...
if they don't have another masseuse?
Then I'm shit out of luck. You know when you like are on the beach in a swimsuit and you get sand up your crotch?
Mm-hmm.
That's what that felt like.
Mm.
Just nitty gritty experience.
Nice.
Yeah. So I desperately am in dire need for a pedicure now.
I know I need one.
My heels are like calloused as hard as hoofs.
You can't get one with your foot.
Well, I can take the brace off.
They'll dig you the shit out of it.
Well, maybe I just tell them. I don't know.
Just get one foot done.
I'm definitely uneasy for my next, like...
appointment.
Yeah, up and close appointment. We'll see how that goes.
Scenario.
Have you and Chase ever gotten a couples massage?
No. We want to, though. But we just never really made the time for it.
Maybe you should try in San Diego. Hey, uncle.
Yeah.
Hey.
You want to watch the baby?
You got a wife? Watch a baby for 2 hours.
Maybe. They got a lot of shit planned.
Well, maybe you can sneak some sex in there, too.
Maybe.
Sarah, go have sex at SeaWorld. Please.
Okay.
Go do it in the bathroom.
We can do that.
Put Caroline in a separate stall in her stroller and just be like, BRB, you don't need them long.
BRB.
Like
We'll just keep her in
90
her stroller
seconds.
when she's like asleep. And
I bet if you set a timer on your phone, he would be done in before 60 seconds.
Usually he is, but lately he's been lasting like a really long time.
Maybe it's because you need to do it more than once a month.
No, that's what I'm saying. Usually when we don't do it as often, he's just like,
oh, that's true.
quick as a snap. But lately we've been doing it a lot more. So now he's just, I'm like, are you done? And he's like, it's not coming. I'm like,
Maybe
why
you
aren't
found
you?
those little blue pills I was telling you about.
Maybe. I don't know. Shit.
Because sometimes by the end of those, when all a woman is wanted is like, I want you to last like 30 minutes. Like, that would be amazing. Like, and that includes foreplay. Don't get scared, our gentlemen listeners. But, like, a full, like, beginning, like, nice kissing and making out and petting. Because you lose that a lot in long-term relationships.
Yes, that's true.
The buildup of it all. And, like, if you could, like, really make a woman climax at the very end, you both do it together, that's fucking beautiful. You don't need more than 30 minutes. I mean, that's for the long haul. If you want to do a quickie in the bathroom at SeaWorld, you could jam that in 60 seconds.
Bend over, we got it.
I think the thrill, too, helps
It'd be fun
to make you come faster.
Right. We're doing it in SeaWorld.
So that'd
be cool.
That's my homework for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll text Chase,
but
I don't have my phone.
Y'all, if you've had an awkward experience getting a massage or any other like touching
Hit her up.
service, even doctor's appointments, let us know.
So Linda, her son lives in Italy, right? Well, he has his best friend got a couples massage for her and her boyfriend, but her boyfriend like couldn't make it, so she's like, "Hey, you want to go with me?" And he's like, "Sure, why not?" Well, it was like at night. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, Italy night massage, like, we all know where this is going, right? He had no idea. Because, like, in Italy, he's like, everything's open late, so whatever. So we went in one at a time. She went in first, and then she's like, yeah, I'll need to get some money, and then I'll wait for you, and I'll pay for yours. And he's like, all right, whatever.
I'll wait for you.
So he goes in to his massage. She never comes back. Like his friend never comes back in. She's in the car, right? And he's getting there. He gets his massage, whatever. And then they get done, and she goes, "Would you like me to help finish you?" And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "I can help you." And he's like, No, I'm good. And he
Did
runs
he already
out.
have a stiffy?
No, it was just like to finish the massage. It was a happy ending massage because it was like at night in this weird ass place. And even when she was telling me, I was like, it was a happy ending, wasn't it? And she's like, I know.
Oh.
He had no idea. And he asked his friend, he's like, did you? And she's like, no, why would I do that? Because it was a girl masseuse.
Watch them both have done it.
I'm like,
Just
I'm sure they
not want to tell the other.
Right? I'm like, I like how he's telling his mom this.
He's like, Mom, you wouldn't believe it. I definitely didn't do it. I definitely did it.
I mean, hey, why wouldn't you?
She beat that meat like she was a fucking butcher, and
I'm
she
sure she's
punked
good at-
that pussy like she was Ashton Kutcher.
I mean, I'm sure she's good at that's like what her job is, massage happy ending.
I've been like, okay, that's a story for a different time, but you know what? It all comes back to like the root chakra.
The root.
You're a Virgin, so treasure yourself. Be gentle. If you don't have to like do mass amounts of pressure, just flick it. That's why they say flick the bean. Like, don't actually flick it, you idiots. But like, to our like 2% male population that listens to our show, right? You're not idiots, but you can be.
Just rub it a little bit, just like a little, like
the joystick on your Xbox controller.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of pressure. Just needs a little, more stimulation.
You don't want a lot of pressure because then you're pushing a totally different action and you're fucking yourself up. So don't fuck yourself up. Just gently. Circular motion.
Jason's got it down.
Good for him. All that being said, y'all, if you want to write into the show, you can do so at hardtalkswithbnh@gmail.com. We are on Instagram and Facebook at hardtalkswithbnh and Twitter at hardtalkswithb1. If you want to do us a super massive, giant, big solid, not shit on us. Yeah, don't shit on us. But if you want to do us a big favor by hopping onto Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts and leave a 5-star and written review, that goes so far, and it makes our week, and we love to hear from you, and it just helps us to continue to grow, continue to meet and connect with more people. And it doesn't have to be specific. You can tell us like
what you ate for dinner last night
or how you orgasm. Whatever
floats your boat.
Let's beat that funky algorithm on both of those platforms. But yeah, totally. I'm not going to say that out loud. Never mind. I hope you guys have a good week. Stay chipper.
I
love you.
Love you.
Bye.